Alright everybody, I hope you're having so much fun with this. So next we're going to move on to binomial and using a correction factor. So if you remember last time when we were using discrete probability, we had hard numbers to work with. Well, with continuous, we're measuring it more or less most of the time, so there's some chance for error. And what we're going to do in this one is we're going to take a look at how we adjust for that chance of error. So we're going to do page 233, number 34. Very, very important that you read page 232, read the correction area, and also look at how this is formed out and done. And I will walk you through it here, but make sure you do it. Alright, so number 34 is the Shorty's Muffler advertises it can install a new muffler in 30 minutes or less. However, Work Standards Department at corporate headquarters recently conducted a study and found that 20% of the mufflers were not installed within 30 minutes or less. The branch installed 50 mufflers last month, so what's correct? So we know we got 20 were done right, and we got 50 that were installed. And that's in the marker of 30 minutes or less. That's just kind of the guarantee, but what we're really looking for is those other two numbers. So pay attention. Look how this was set up, because we're going to figure out the mean, the variance, and the standard deviation before we can get down and use it into the correction factor on this problem. Alright, so we know that the mean is going to be equal to number of observations times the probability, which in this case is going to be mean times is equal to 50 times 0.20. In our case, mean is going to be equal to 10. Alright, pretty straightforward. So now we're going to look at variance. I'm going to start over here because it's a little bit longer. Is going to be equal to n times probability times 1 minus the probability. So variance is going to be equal to 50 times 0.2 times 1 minus 0.20. So we're going to get 10, which we already knew, times 0.8. So variance is going to be equal to 8. What we're trying to get to is standard deviation, so we're going to take the square root of it. That's going to give us 2.828. Alright, so we got that number. So we're cruising along. Alright, what is the likelihood that fewer than 8 installations took place, or took more than 30 minutes? Alright, so the key words here are going to be right here. For the probability that fewer than X occurred, we're going to subtract a 0.5. So we know that it was 8 is what they're asking about. So we're actually going to write that as 7.5 minus the mean, which is 10, over the 2.828. We got 7.5 minus 10 equals, divided by 2.828 equals negative 0.88. Well, to find the z value and figure out what that is, again, helps to visualize this thing. So let's go into our z table. And find 8, which is 3106. So it's going to be 3106. So what we're trying to do is figure out what the probability of it is. So we know that this side over here, the entirety of it is 0.500. Using the correction factor, we know it's that. So 0.5 minus 0.3106 equals 0.1894. So for B, we know what the correction factor, the probability of it being 8 or fewer, is going to be 18.94%. Alright, so what's C asking? What is the likelihood that 8 or fewer installations took more than 30 minutes? Alright, so again, we've got to come back over here again. For the probability that 8 or fewer occurred, this time we're going to add a 0.5 for B. Okay. So the correction factor is adding. So it's going to be Z equals 8.5 minus 10 over our standard deviation. So 8.5 minus 10 equals, divided by 2.282 equals, that can't be right. Let me try one. 8.5 minus 10 equals, divided by 2.828 equals, that's better, negative 0.53. One of the things when I get going, I notice that I don't always get my decimal point right here, and I can tell right there I did because I ended up with a number that was a bit wonky. Alright, so again, we know the number is 0.5, Z is equal to 0.53. Let's play Battleship and figure out our coordinates. 5.3 is going to be 0.2019. 2019. So we're again it's going to measure back over. In this case, it's going to be 0.2019, given the correction factor 5000. So 0.5 minus 0.2019 equals 0.2981. Alright, what does D say? What is the likelihood that exactly 8 of the 50 installations took more than 30 minutes? So in this case, all we really need to do is take our 3106, minus our 0.2019. That will give us 0.3106 minus 0.2019 equals 0.1087. Alright, so I'm going to pull it back because I got going in there, so you guys have another chance to look at it and how I did it. So again, this correction factor and the probability, really pay attention to 232. It's very important in this grouping.